Corey, Trevor's knee obviously progressed throughout the week. What did you see from him from day one through the walkthrough today that has you confident to start him this week?
Yeah, just that. Just his confidence in being able to maneuver in and out of the pocket. I think he kind of wanted that confidence for himself as well. So as we progressed through the week, man, he just looked like himself. So it was encouraging to see, from a coaching standpoint. But I think for him as well, just to be able to get out there and feel it and be able to operate like the way he wants to, just kind of solidifies and validates everything we were looking for.
And same with AJ. You obviously took it easy on him the last few weeks.
Yep.
But it sounded like he could have played, so now it makes sense to bring him back?
No, absolutely. I think, we were in a situation where, again, if all the chips were pushed on the table, knowing that guy, he could have. But I thought it was the right decision. We still got, the second half of the season that we got to focus on, and just being able to have him closer to, being 100, which doesn't exist at this time of the year. But happy to have him back.
Shea did well filling in for Mr. Harris. How having him back in the lineup, though, what does that do mentally for your group?
Having Trevor back in the lineup? I think, just that veteran presence and leadership, if things are being presented differently maybe than you game plan for, in some form or version, it's something that Trevor's most likely seen during his time. So I think just the veteran presence for sure, for the majority part of camp and leading into the games, that was the voice that was leading the huddle. So I think just that familiarity, coming from 7. But like you said, Shea did an excellent job for us, and, I think has solidified and proven himself to be the guy that we expected him to be and thought he was, and certainly moving forward, proven that he can be a good quarterback in this league.
Do you expect to see Cody Fajardo?
Anything. This year, you never know, right? But there could be a possibility, But as a staff, we just had to prepare for both, and we're ready for that. So if he does, end up being out there, we're ready for that. And if it's Davis, obviously, just throughout the last few weeks, we've seen a lot of film of that as well.
Just your head coach is being coy about your quarterbacks.
Oh, what's that? I don't know nothing about that.
Corey, halfway point of the season, how would you rate this team's performance in the first half?
I'd probably give us a B, C plus, B. We just harp so hard on being the best versions of ourselves that we're not really satisfied with what we've put forth this year, right? So, and I love that because we all see that the same way. So we're just working weekend, or really day in and day out, to improve where we feel we're weak in areas. So I'm excited to see how the season progresses from here.
Corey, you've talked a few times this year about fan support and what that can mean. How much of a factor could that be, or how much of a factor would you like that to be tomorrow night?
Oh, any home game. I love it. Just seeing the numbers grow week to week since the season started. I know ultimately, the last one wasn't exactly what everybody wanted to see, us included, obviously. But I know this fan base and how loyal that we are, that I would expect numbers to be around the same and or better, just because they support what we're doing and, potentially what's to come and what we're working for. So it definitely helps, every home game having the crowd going crazy. We got to make sure that we do our part when the fan base comes and does theirs.
When the crowd is beneficial, being crazy, what does that do to the opposing team? What kind of disruption can that or does that create?
I think just, coming into, I know the term is always walking into a hornet's nest, there's no chill from a visitor's standpoint, especially for the opposing defense coming out, the opposing offense coming out. Trying to get all their communications and their checks, they're going to have to, they ain't just going to be out there talking. You got to do a bunch of other stuff to be on the same page, to be able to communicate and execute plays. And then even on the sidelines, I know being a visitor here, you're going to hear it even when you're sitting down and you're resting. It's no break. Sometimes guys need a mental break. They got to be on the sideline talking to their coaches, and, they're getting grinded from the fan base. That's part of it, man. You love that.
Did the salary cap factor in at all to having Trevor Harris on there for the full 6 games? And I say that because you have some flexibility to add a pretty quality player for those.
Yeah, I mean, I think the timing was right. You know, we did Dunk was sit down with the doctors, and we made sure that we needed to have a proper plan in place to have Trev feel as close as we can to being able to operate at a high level, not just go out there and operate. And now, you know, we're holding our breath, you know, for him to go out through the remainder of the season. You know, he worked his tail off, maybe an injury that maybe some people don't even come back in 6. He was pushing early, you know, but you kind of had to save him from himself. So I thought the timing was right. I think he agrees with that, especially, you know, going through it this week and seeing how he felt. I think we handled it exactly the right way.
How does Nathan Rourke's return to the BC Lions shape things up in the CFL?
Oh, a tremendous player. I think, you know, everybody in the country knows that. Certainly just, you know, another something for us to think about when we have to face that opponent. But in totality and, you know, being a Canadian and a CFL guy, I think it's excellent for the league. You know, I'm happy if Nathan's happy, you know, I'm happy that he's back up here, and it's only going to draw, you know, more eyes to the CFL, our game. So, you know, I wish him really all the best, except for when we play, but we're locked in on Montreal.
I'm curious if you got a chance to meet Ludacris when he was in town.
Oh, don't even bring it up, man. I was 0 for 2. He was in the building twice and I missed him. 2 times, missed him. Everybody else got pictures. Nobody wanted to tell me. But no. Oh, no, none of some of the staff. But yeah, I heard he was in the cold tubs getting ready for the performance, all this stuff. He was on the field with his kids. He had a good time. You know, he got an Obsidian jersey, so that's cool. No pictures with Luda, man. That's tough.
How did he get the Obsidian jersey, you know?
I don't know. The Rider store works quick, man. Yeah, so yeah, if they can get him one quick, you know, if you got to wait a couple days, go get yours.
Think of it though, Corey, like he's now walking around saying, I didn't get a chance to meet Corey Mace. Like how devastating could that be to him?
Yeah, it's a tough life, you know, but I'm sure he's got no idea who I am, and that's okay. But you know, as long as he keeps that jersey, I just keep it in the house, and I know a little piece of us is always with Luda.
Coach, how reasonable is it to expect that Trevor Harris picks up where he left off in week 3?
I don't see why not. You know what I mean? It certainly looked like he was capable of it during the week of practice. So I think that comes with the experience. You know, it's not like you know, he's been a starter for just, you know, 3 games into the year in his first year, and he's going back out and still trying to figure it out. So will it take a couple series or something? Maybe. I don't know, but I would not anticipate it takes a long time for Trevor Harris to get settled in.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.